Hey, you too. All right, I'm gonna wait a few more minutes till y'all come on. Hey, come on in the room. All right, go ahead, give the thumbs up for the algorithm, as well as say hello in the chat so I can see who's on here. And then I'll start in a couple minutes. Who's in here? Two people? Who's two? Take a few brief minutes to say hey or hi. Then I'll go ahead and start. Come on in the room. All right, it's two people. Let me go ahead and see who else coming on. Come on, y'all. Stop dragging your feet. Usually I get five people. So let me give it a few more minutes. Hey, come on, hit the like button. As you enter the room, go ahead and hit the like. All right. I'm going to start in 5 more minutes. I'm just waiting to see some more people come on. I'm not trying to stay on here all night. I know I've been on here 3 hours and things in the last couple times, but I don't want to stay here too long tonight. Hey, I got three people on. All right, come on, y'all. Who's the three people lurking in the back? All right, so let me go ahead and start. So, as some of y'all may know, I was on medical disability leave from Amazon. So, as I stated, I was going to come give you an update as to what happened. And then it's also going to be a teaching moment at the same time, just to show y'all examples of why it's important to have short term disability. Now, Most companies, when you work and they give you insurance, short-term disability is an option that they usually give employees. Now, sometimes it's free, but most of the time it's not. But it's not a big fee that you come out of your check. Usually, depending on the size of the company and most larger companies, they do offer short-term disability insurance. So basically, what happened today? I got a call this morning around 8:30 ish from Amazon, the case manager who had my case. So she called me to give me the update, and basically, what happened was the form that I submitted from the doctor's office, it was incomplete. Part one of it was it's real simple. So part of it was when I signed it and dated it, for some reason, hey Colas, for some reason, rather than me putting September 8th, 2021, I put September 8th, 12 or something. I don't know. I was like, what? And then the doctor, part three of the form, it asks if I was eligible to return back to work. And that part was left off. It was blank. So basically, it came back as incomplete. And so basically, the case manager at the Amazon Disability Service, they was telling me all I needed to do was basically put the correct date on the form, which, and also have a doctor either write a note stating that I'm to return back to work with the specific date, which would be next Saturday, and put down is it going to be restrictions or not restrictions. So after I looked at the paperwork, I did put the incorrect date. So I put the correct date, signed it, initialed it, took a picture, sent it over to Amazon in an email, went to the doctor's office around 4:30, 4:45, no, 4:30, before 4:30, to have them correct that, um, check the box that I was to return to work with the date of September, well, whatever date was that, next week, September the 18th, which is next Saturday, with no restriction, meaning that um, there's no restrictions, meaning there was no kind of changing in my work status in regards to, do I get to sit down or whatever the case may be. So rather than putting restrictions, I said just put non-restrictive. I'll come back to work next Saturday. So basically, I'm approved to come back. I kept my job. Basically, there is no issues of my attendance because remember I tell you that I had no hours. I had like 8 hours of unpaid time, 5 hours of vacation, and um, what was the other? I think I had like 12 or something hours of PTO, but I had used eight. I used 12 hours of PTO that second day. But I wonder if I could take. I wonder if they could reverse that. But I think I already got paid for that day. I'll call them up later. So anyway, I got approved. So I had to, I went back to the doctor. They checked the box. And then in terms of my short-term disability pay, on the seventh calendar day that I was out, because I was out for once you get 7 days of being out, they pay me my short-term disability, which is 60% of my pay. Not 100%, but 60%, because that was the percentage of my short-term disability pay, that premium that I think I paid into that at 60%. Now I could have done higher, but I don't know. I don't think they will let me do that much. So it was 60%. So I'm getting paid 60% of my pay from those days that I've been out. So this would have been um 2 weeks ago. This will be the third week, and then I go back next. So I'll be getting paid for those days that I wasn't getting paid. So, and I only use one of my 12 hours, and then everything else is kept intact. So that's the outcome. That's the result. I got approved, but she's gonna get the copy of the note that was incomplete. So I took a picture and faxed it over. So I'll probably get another revision of it was approved, and then basically they'll notify Amazon that I'll be coming back to work next Saturday with no restrictions. Now I could still have restrictions, but that will be required for future reference. So basically, that's what happened. The paperwork was incomplete, but it was completed correctly by me just resubmitting my date that I signed the application, and the doctor checked the box that I could return to work on a specific work date. And that's when I'll be going back to work next week, Saturday. And luckily for me, I had got that short term disability. So let me explain. When you work for a company and they offer various different types of insurance, dental, vision, short-term disability, long-term disability, pet insurance, um, 401k, all those type of different benefits. One of the most important benefit to get is short-term disability insurance. It only costs a few dollars out of your paycheck. You could elect different um, levels, like 4 times your pay or whatever. And some insurance that you get, short-term disability, will cover your pay if you ever have to go be out of work for whatever reason. You know, they even have accidental death, but that's a whole new thing altogether. But I'm talking about with the short-term disability. And then some have long-term disability insurance. So it's important that you protect your pay, your income. And having that type of insurance, if you elect to get it through your job, you could also get it on your own too. Now, I'm going to put in the link stride.com. Now, let me put that in the link. Stride.com, it's a free app that you could track your miles, track your income, track expenses for tax purposes. And also on the Stride, they offer different resources such as health benefits, dental, for especially if you're independent contractor, self-employed. And with that, you could sign up, which I started looking at, that they have affordable disability policy. Now, let me see if I can put my link in, and you can click on it and sign up for it, or even just download the app to keep track of your miles. If you still do Uber Eats, Grubhub, any type of job that you have to keep track of your miles, this Stride app is also a good way to do that. But it has resources that you could look into. And Stride used to be a company that offered different health insurance plans at one point. So let me see if I could go ahead and put the link in. And y'all could also, let me see. All right, hold on a second. I'm gonna send this link to myself. And copy it. Now, my else will put this in the description box later on. So let me go ahead and put it in. And this is a free app, so you could track your miles, you could track your expenses, you could track other things, and you could also keep track of your records and download it when it's time to file your tax return. And it also could keep track of it. So let me go ahead and put this link in the description in the chat first. So hold on a second. Where the hell is it? Okay, I'll put this in the description box too. So this is basically the link. Just ignore all the other things. This is just a message. Use Stride Tax to track your mileage and expenses and cut on your tax bill in half. And this link, let me take all this out. This is, let's send the link. This is the link. So just go ahead and click on that link, and it's free. It ain't, it ain't like it's gonna benefit me, but it's gonna help a lot of people, because with this you could track your mileage, you could track your expenses. You just put it in, and when it gives you you could download your records later on, especially when taxes come around. So that's a good thing to check. But within that Stride app, it gives you some opportunities about insurance, especially for self-employed. So if you're self-employed, if you do Uber Eats, Grubhub, or any of those apps, and you're looking for affordable housing, you're looking for affordable resources, one of them they offer is short-term disability. So if I wasn't working at Amazon and say I was working for myself and I didn't have a way of trying to get insurance, I truly would be going through this app, because in this app, it takes you through like health insurance wise, like the Obamacare or Biden Care, and you can sign up for health insurance that way. It is legitimate. It ain't no fly by night companies. And also it helps you with getting different types of short-term disability insurance. So short-term disability insurance is something great to have. Something happens to you, you get sick, and whether you're working for yourself or working for a company or employee, having short-term disability protects your income, because you never know what's going to happen. Like I said, I worked at Amazon and I was going through that, pain and working, and I couldn't work. And I went to the doctor. They said, okay, we could dismiss you from work for 2 weeks, and you file your disability claim through your company that you work with, or if you have short-term disability, you go ahead and submit the paperwork, and you still get paid either 100% of your salary, 50%, 60%. It depends what percentage you purchase your short-term disability insurance for, and you'll be protected of getting paid. And I still could get 60% of my income for those weeks, but I could also use my PTO time and my time. But since I don't have that many hours to get paid, I only use one day of 12 hours, because I kept the remaining hours just in case I didn't get approved. So if I didn't get approved, I would have simply said, okay, use all of my hours so I could get paid and exhaust all of it, and then I would have resigned. But since I said no, let me wait and see what happens. But since my case was approved, pending that I'd already submitted the missing information, which was very minor. So the doctor filled out my return of work with no restrictions, and I basically corrected that date on the application, send it over to the caseworker at Amazon today, and then I'll be going back next Saturday. And luckily for me, I go back next Saturday. That's the end of the work week. So I'll be working Saturday, be off until come back the following week. And By that point, a couple more weeks, October 1st, I get 20 hours of unpaid time. It starts all over again. And because every quarter you get 20 hours of unpaid time just in case something happens. And then I go back to accumulating PTO and vacation. So that's the update with that. I will be going back to work, and basically, with that pain in my feet so far, I've been taking it, and I'm not having as much pain and nerve pain in my feet. So it's subdued. And then I got a call from Aetna today because I went to Teladoc, and this person called me who provided me some free resources from Aetna. Part of my insurance included a lot of free resources. She was telling me I could get like free medical um, equipment. If I needed any type of special type of equipment, I could get it for free. I'm talking about like high blood pressure cup, or those meters and the strips and whatever. She asked me if I had any problems paying my bills and things like that. So they give you free resources to direct you towards anything if I needed any type of help. So I told her I was to have a colonoscopy in the next week and a half, and I need assistance in going to the doctor and coming back because they put you under, and I need medical ride to go to the doctor and come back home. And I said that there were certain other things that I didn't really need a whole bunch of anything really, but my Aetna plan included, counseling, free counseling. Most companies have EAP, Employee Assistance Program. So if you was going through any type of depression or, you need some kind of help, you have someone to talk to. But there was other resources. So I didn't really need any help with bills, or nothing like that. But that was good to know that they had something like that where if I did have problems paying my bills, like I told y'all before, that there was assistance for rental assistance and utility assistance that they have available. So people who were, working, had childcare, there's a lot of things that's offered that people could really get assistance with. You don't have to be waiting for some type of stimulus. There are so many programs that was available that people just have to know how to find it, I guess. But if you work for a company and they have EAP, Employee Assistance Program, even United Way, there are so many different programs that people could call, and you don't have to have a bunch of kids and have children to get these type of assistance. But they will guide you towards ways to do it. So this lady called me, and I spoke to her, and I told her all the situations and problems I was going through, trying to get an appointment with a doctor. And I went to Aetna, Teladoc, and how I had waited on the phone on my computer for hours to speak to someone just to be hung up on 3 times and never called back. And then the third person finally got a hold of them, wrote some generic note. He hung up so quick and didn't even give me a chance, to ask them a question. And she apologized for what happened. And she, it was her last day today. So she was, I said, she said this was her last day and somebody else was going to take care of the case. But she called me back because I think at one point I had requested to speak with someone at Aetna because I had an issue and complained about it. So I guess she was calling back because of that. And then that's when I found out all these other benefit plans and things I had that I have insurance on. Aetna And with Amazon, they had a whole bunch of things and resources that was available to me that I didn't really know about. So they'll be calling me next week. So, when I was having issues, so I was like, dang, that means I probably could have gotten free or maybe a good discount on some good quality shoes and sneakers. But I'm gonna find out, and I'll tell y'all about that next week once I find out what kind of resources that I'm able to get. But it was a lot of things that were offered for free that came with my plan that I didn't know about. So, but yes, so the outcome is the paperwork was incomplete, but once I submitted the paperwork with the correct date and the doctor checked the box to return to work on next Saturday with no restrictions, my case was approved. My case is basically approved, and I got 60% of my pay for the short term disability. So, with me having that short term disability, when I chose my insurance, my benefits a month, 5 weeks ago when I first started, I think it was 5 weeks ago, when I first enrolled in benefits, I had said, yeah, I'll take short term disability. I'll sign up for that. And luckily I did. And not thinking I'm not paying $5 a week or $3 a week or whatever it was. Luckily I signed up for it because if I didn't have short term disability, all these weeks that I was out, I would not have gotten paid. So I would be getting paid 60%. So that's pretty good, a little bit over half of my income, which would be what, 300 something a week. So I'll be getting 300 and something for these one, two, I want to say 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks. So I'll be getting paid for back pay with my disability insurance claim. So, and like I said, if you go on the link in the chat, stride.app.link, that is a app where you can track your miles, your expenses, if you're an independent contractor or self-employed. And also it has free resources in terms of buying short-term disability as an independent contractor. Because if you're doing Uber Eats, Grubhub, and all these companies, and you don't get insurance, you have to either sign up for insurance through Obamacare, you have to sign up for different insurance on your own, not Geico. What's the other one? Aflac or something like that. It may be pricey, but if you go to this app that in the link, I'll put in the description later on, you could actually get short-term disability as an independent contractor. If anything you get and you want to protect your income by getting short-term disability and long-term disability along with other insurance you may have, such as dental, that's not a whole lot. Vision. I would say medical. I would say get medical, but I'm still waiting for Forward to be opened up in Atlanta, which is that membership program. I'm still waiting for them to open up. But it's important to have some type of insurance, especially when it comes to your income. Comes to your income, you want to protect your income. You never know what would happen. I could go out, I could leave, I could trip in front of my house or get into a car accident or get injured on the job or to experience extreme pain where I'm not able to work because of whatever. And having short-term disability protects your income, even if you're self-employed. Try to get that. So that's my views on that. All right, y'all. I got 3 thumbs up. Can I get 6 for 6? I'm giving y'all some good information and tidbits. I appreciate it. And typically, short-term disability is not expensive. Even if you got it on your own, it's not that expensive. So you want to think about that. You want to think about it because even if you're an Uber driver, Lyft, Grubhub, doing food deliveries, in whatever, you want to get it. You have a job and you get a job. Most of the time, they offer that for part time as well as full time associates. So never dismiss getting that type of coverage. Because it doesn't cost that much. And you may say, well, if you never file a claim, you never um, use it or whatever. I'm just telling you from experience, especially if you work at Amazon. If you ever decide to, you need a job, and because it's so simple, it's so easy to get a job at Amazon as long as you pass the drug test. And Amazon is opening up all over the place now. And with the way this economy is going, like I said, unemployment has been um, that extension for that unemployment, that extra $300, that's gone. They already, that ended a couple of days ago, and some of them is gonna people's unemployment claim, especially if you got unemployment since last year. What is it? A 16 months, 17 months? Insurance or unemployment usually lasts, maximum is 16 weeks. I think it's long. I think it's shorter than that. I know you can only get unemployment for about 14, 15, 16 weeks. I don't even think you could get it any. I know it's not I know it's not beyond 2 years. You could get unemployment regular, not about the $300 and $600 and all that stuff. I'm talking about regular state unemployment. No, it's like 24 weeks, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 6 months. And I think if they extend it, it's like an extra 3 months. I think you only get unemployment for 9 months. I know it's not a year. At some point, you're not gonna get unemployment for a year. Not over a year. I know that. It's at least several months. But after that, that's it. You don't even get food stamps for any long length of time before you have to recertify, and and then they ask you, do you do any other ride share acts? They start asking that question. So if you were getting unemployment when it was the CARES Act, and then that ended under normal circumstances, you wouldn't get unemployment if you were just a Uber driver or Lyft or doing self-employed. You normally wouldn't get unemployment because you didn't pay into the system. So that ended. That gravy train has passed and gone. And don't think that they're not gonna know you didn't get that income, because if you make over $600, Uber, Lyft, and all these companies report that to the IRS, the 1099 NEC. They report that. So if they find out that you was working 1099 and you made self-employment income, and you didn't report that when you were getting unemployment, you're gonna have to pay all that money back. So don't think that they don't check. They don't check that you got income. And there's people thinking, I get paid under the table. That's a stupid thing. I get paid under the table and this and that or whatever. You hurting yourself. You hurting yourself by thinking you're getting paid under the table. Because the person who paid you, when they file their taxes and stuff, they losing out on the tax breaks and benefits of paying someone income, payroll, the taxes and insurance you getting paid. So in both ways, it hurts you. So getting paid under the table is not always that I get paid under the table. Let me tell you, nobody takes cash. You can't get paid and just walk around with large sums of cash on you. You know, because when you pay your bills and pay, that doesn't add up. So trust me, when you think you're being slick and thinking that You just getting paid cash. You'd be surprised how many dumb people I was speaking to last year when tax season came around. They were looking for that stimulus. They were looking for that stimulus. I heard I'm supposed to get a stimulus. I just got out of prison and jail, and they say I'm supposed to get a stimulus. No, no, no. What income did you have? The stimulus was based on for those who had income. But these jailbirds. I mean, this one lady, she just sounds stupid. She gonna call me on the phone and arguing. Bitch, I ain't got time when I cook. You ain't about to curse and carry on, act a fool, you know, for some stimulus check, and you talk about you got out of jail. Man, bitch, bye. These people be so stupid at times. So when you so it's time for get stimulus money, and I mean, they ain't gonna have no stimulus again. No fourth stimulus. Nope, there ain't gonna be no other stimulus. Not in my lifetime, it won't. Maybe 10 years down the road, they'll have another stimulus 10 years down the road, because they had stimulus before. They had a stimulus when Bush was in office. When it was the stimulus back then. It wasn't no $1,000. It was like $500, I think it was. So they had stimulus in the past. They were stimulus. It wasn't like in the form of a check like they did now, but they gave it in the form of your tax return when you filed. So there's been stimulus given. Matter of fact, when Katrina came about, there was a stimulus. If you had people in your household and they was victims of Hurricane Katrina, and it was a tax break that was given to people. Because I remember when my sister, my nephew, and niece was staying with me at that time, and then they stayed with my mother at some point. I told my sister, there was a tax break to give, and she didn't want to. That's my niece and that's my children's Social Security number. Talking to the third person after I helped her, she didn't even want to give me her information, and I was like, it has nothing to do with you filing your tax return. You can file your tax return however you always regularly would file. I'm not benefiting off of you. Matter of fact, I didn't get nothing from my sister. Nothing. Another relative of mine gave me some money to help, and she thought, I said, why they gave you money and they gave me money. It wasn't like a whole lot of money involved, but if you staying with me, I still had to pay rent, electricity, water bill, gas bill. More people living in the house, meaning I have paid more money in expenses to have you stay there. But my sister's so damn selfish at times, and she was most definitely selfish at that period of time. So there was a stimulus at that point, at that time. I remember, and it was like it was a tax credit on your tax return for those who had people staying with them, and it was Hurricane Katrina victims, and it was just basically like a reduction in your tax. That's all it was. My sister act like I was getting extra benefits coming from the government that she should have got, and she turned around. She ended up did getting it. I said, "You're gonna get that." I told her, but she didn't listen. But I remember that. I do surely do. That was a mess. So, and let me see what other stimulus was there. There was a stimulus right around that one. It's been two other, put it this way, it's been other stimulus in the past. People just don't remember it because it didn't come out as a check like it did now. It wasn't like a direct deposit in your bank account and stuff. It was off your tax return. And it basically came in a form as a tax credit, refundable credit. So if your check was, say your refund was $1,000, then that extra stimulus would have given you $1,500. It was like an extra $500. Single $1,000, married, filing joint, but it wasn't as big as it was now. So, but there won't be another stimulus. Not this year. It won't. No, it won't. If anything, it's going to be a tax increase this year. Next year come, y'all wait and see. When in the fourth quarter, at the end of this year, and they start to raise the debt ceiling, and it's time for them to go over extending certain tax breaks especially if Trump implemented some tax breaks, Biden is either going to override it or keep it as is or put his own change to it. But it's gonna be some it's gonna be a lot of tax law changes. I could tell you that. So, but we'll see. Most people are not gonna pay attention to that. They're not gonna pay attention to the changes when it comes about because it's so many other things that's going to be talked about that's going to be washed. What's going to happen is that new economic um, infrastructure bill is going to override any type of tax talks of taxes being increased in the talks. That's what's going to happen. A lot of that thing is going to be washed between that, and then I think this is a midterm year for election. So there's going to be a lot of elections November, the one in Georgia, Warnock, and what's his name? The other one, Ossoff, John Ossoff and Warnock. They were only replacement for the seats. So they're going to have to run the election this year. And Herschel Walker, the Georgia running back, played for UGA, he's running for senator under the Republican, I heard. So I don't know. People, I've been getting these emails about come join, keeping Georgia blue. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. If it's going to stay blue, but there's it's not like you running for president. It's not like it's a presidential election year, but there are some Senate seats across the country. There are elections this year. So, of course, next year, I think it's going to be the midterm elections for the Senate or the House. One of them, I got to look it up. And not to say that it's going to go back to Republican, but, I don't know. It just depends. I don't know. So many people are so happy or dissatisfied regardless what's going on. And then the other bigger news is that the second school district in the country, California, is mandating that all children 12 years old and older to get vaccinated. And this virus don't seem to be under control. It seems to be getting worse. And nobody wants to say they want to shut down and mandate anything because nobody wants to do it. But California decided they're going to have all children 12 years old and over be vaccinated. No testing, no kind of And I think then the other thing is all federal employees and contractors who do business with the government has to be vaccinated too. So if you want to do business as a contractor for the government, you have to be vaccinated too. Your company, you as an individual, if you want to do business as a contractor for the federal government, you have to be vaccinated. Otherwise, you don't have no contract. And federal employees, you have to be vaccinated or you don't have no job. So there is no, well, you can wear a mask if you want. Well, if you don't want to get vaccinated, you're going to get tested every day. No, nope. They said, nope. Federal employees, major companies, they require that people get vaccinated. Ain't no ifs and a but. If you don't want to get vaccinated, then fine, quit. You don't have no job. And then, just like the NFL, Cam Newton, he was supposed to be the quarterback for the Panthers, Carolina Panthers. He ain't, not Carolina Panthers, New England Patriots. He ain't got no job no more. They cut him today. He's no longer playing for New England. And some people on the radio, they was, Hughley, he was like, oh, he lost his quarterback position because he didn't get vaccinated. He didn't get vaccinated because he said he was confused about the protocol and all that stuff. That means he didn't get vaccinated, but he didn't lose no job because he didn't get vaccinated. He lost his job because you only threw 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, and you lost majority of the games, and you're 31 years old. And because he didn't get vaccinated, he ain't got no job. You got it because you suck. You thought you was doing something when you was with Carolina Panthers and all that running and stuff. And then years later, after being in the NFL, you suck. So they were like, nope, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't winning us no games. It was because he ain't got no vaccination. But if you weren't vaccinated, you play for football, and you'd get vaccinated. So I know one thing: millions of dollars equal taking a vaccination or not getting vaccinated and being cut, and then you ain't got no job, and all those millions of dollars you don't make. All those kids he got a boku of baby mamas, a whole bunch of kids. Now, how you gonna pay that? How you gonna pay that child support with all those kids you got? You ain't got no football job, no quarterback job. It ain't look like he could be picked up by anybody anytime soon. Football season starts what, tomorrow? Not tomorrow, Sunday. So I'd rather be vaccinated, keep my job, and especially if it's millions of dollars involved. I'm like, what? Give me the shot right there. Boop. I don't understand it. That don't make no sense. Then I read somewhere. I didn't read the story, but I wasn't shocked. Tom Brady talking about he had the COVID after the Super Bowl and during the parade or whatever. He was diagnosed with having COVID. He didn't say nothing. You had the COVID. I was like, if these football players supposed to be so healthy and they getting COVID that easily, I don't say easily, but it's a whole lot. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I said, I don't care what anybody say. If you can be vaccinated as a child, babies get vaccinated, with all kind of things. You go to college or go to school, you got to get vaccinated before you go to college. You got to get, I don't understand what the big thing is. Hey, Vicky, I don't understand it. You think I'm gonna be cut from a football team like Cam Newton for New England of millions of dollars? He ain't got no job. Now he ain't got no job. He ain't got no job, no football, no contract, and got. Oh, you missed it. I said that 48 minutes ago. All right, let me recap for those who's coming in the room. Basically, I got a call this morning from Amazon. My forms were incomplete because I put the wrong date, and then the doctor didn't check the box about when I'm to return to work without restrictions. So basically, it got approved. I went back to the doctor's office. They checked the box. So I'm going back to work next Saturday on the 18th with no restrictions. And I got paid my short-term disability, which was 60% of my income. So after the 7th day when I was out, I'll be getting paid for all these weeks that I've been out, which is only 3 weeks? Was it 3 weeks? Let me see. Last week for that, week 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 3 weeks I'll be getting paid for those days that I was out. So I'll be going back to work to Amazon next Saturday, and they approve my short-term disability once they update the case that the forms were completed, and I'll get paid my short-term disability that I elected when I chose my benefits. And basically, I was telling y'all that if you work a job and you have insurance, it's best that you get. The best thing you could get in that is get that short-term disability and long-term disability insurance. And if you're self-employed, there's a link under my name. Let's talk about it, Lady T. Stride.app.link. There's a link of free resources that tells you how you could get short-term disability as an independent contractor. So even if you're doing Uber and Lyft and all these other apps, you want to get some type of insurance. You never know, especially if you do independent contract work. You drive around Uber, you catch COVID, Lord forbid if you catch COVID or the flu or you get in an accident, you fall in front of, anything, and you work for yourself, you best get short-term disability and long-term disability if you can get it, because you got your income is protected. Anything happens to you, you can apply for a short-term disability to even clean your house. Matter of fact, I asked the resources today with Aetna. They asked me what kind of resources do I need. I said, I need somebody. I said, I'm having a pain having to clean. I can't do the big scrubbing like I used to because I'd be in so much pain. So I asked them if they had any type of, they could come and have a house cleaner that could help me because of, so you never know. But it does cover stuff like that, you know, house cleaning. Because if say you had short-term disability insurance and you break your foot and you laid up with a cast in your foot and you can't cut your grass and you can't clean your house and you have insurance, sometimes insurance covers stuff like that. They said this person, they incapacitated, they can't do certain things. I wonder, what, when they call me next week, I'm gonna ask them if it's possible that I could hire a house cleaner, because say I did break my foot and you in a cast and you have short-term disability, you get paid, but also routine things that I couldn't do is covered. Remember that Aflac commercial with the duck, and the person was in the hospital and they was getting paid because they had short-term disability? That's basically what short-term disability is. Aflac is just one company you could get it from, and Prudential is another, and Prudential app. There's some other companies. A lot of major companies, they offer that. So that's what they said, Vicky. I'll be going back to work next week, Saturday, and I put no restriction because if they said there was restrictions, then it has to be detailed out, and what kind of restriction do she need, and Amazon could agree to it. And I said, you know what, just forget it. Just put no restriction. They not. It's not like they're gonna let me put a chair up to the station anyway. It ain't. So I'm still gonna take my time when I'm working. Make sure I don't make no mistakes. Put these stolen items back and take breaks. Go to the bathroom. You know, hopefully, me taking this glycopene, it is helping with the nerve pain. So as I take it, because this is the first week, then the second week be next week. So after 2 weeks, it's relieving. It I could tell it's relieving. It's not as painful like it was. I mean, I still feel tingling in my feet, but I'm not feeling that sharp neuropathy pain when I'm sleeping at night. So it is helping bring down the sugar levels. My feet is not as swollen. Ankles is not swollen like it used to be. And um, of course, as I start exercising and eating healthy and all those things, it was subdued. So that's what happened, Vicky. They, they approved the claim, but I corrected it. I had to correct it, and I sent it back. So I said, so once they fix these two things, I had to put the correct date. I put the wrong year. I didn't put 2021. For some reason, I put 12, and I thought I put 21, so I don't know. So I just had to put the 2021 on that, and then the doctor checked the box. So, and no restriction. That was it. It could have been a simple note saying she's to return to work next Saturday with no restriction, and that's it. So it's been approved. It was approved. So, and the good thing is that by the time I come back in October 1st, I have 20 hours of unpaid time leave. I'll be adding that on again. So I'm just gonna go back to work, take my time, and hopefully, um, Maybe I'll transfer to the one closer to my house. I have to wait 30 days again and see what happens. But if not, I'll stay where I'm at. Ain't no big deal. Ain't no big deal because I don't know what's going to happen with this corona happenings. And, for all you know, Amazon may pay another $500 or another coronavirus situation. No, because they got that bonus when they had the government shut down because of the stimulus. So there ain't going to be no more bonus from that. But I know one thing, all these alerts coming on this phone about somebody had the coronavirus is getting ridiculous. Every day somebody got the coronavirus. I'm going to make my transition to try to see if I can get another job from Amazon working from home. And I'm going to wait and see. And say, what? I want to work from home because I got to wait and see what happens. That, or if they start opening up other centers or other centers across Atlanta, I'm going to try to get one of those HR positions where I get to sit down on the desk all day doing HR work and answering the phone. When people call into Amazon for the app, I'm trying to get one of those type of positions. But I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to keep working, and then go back to work at TurboTax when that comes around December the 8th. And by then, I could see what happens. But I'm deciding I'm going to apply for other positions. I'm applying for a job that's opening. If you Hartford Insurance is hiring for people to work from home. They had I was watching someone's video today. Lachey, somebody, her name. She talks about a lot of work from home jobs, and she gives a lot of updates about different positions that's available. So she said she applied, but she was looking for something part time because her coaching business and her YouTube channel, she does a lot. And she wasn't looking for no regular full-time job. She was just looking for something part-time. So she turned it down and found some other part-time job she said she was working with. But she wasn't looking for full-time. But meantime, she said that Hartford was hiring and they hired quickly. And she talked about the process. So one thing I liked about it was they said they pay up to $12,000 of student loans. And the pay was like $18.84 to $20-something an hour, and they was hiring people to work that was on the East Coast, and then they had West Coast. So they hiring, and it was posted today. So I was going to do my resume all over again and apply and see what happens. But it was good working at Amazon. But I'll go back, work those 3 days, 12 hours. See how I feel, because then if I'm not going to work to no pain. I'm not going to work to no pain. So hopefully it won't be so bad. Now that I know that these stupid creams and all this stuff I was putting on, cream and BioFreeze and Aspirin cream and all that stuff I was putting on my feet, that thing ain't did nothing. I was like, man, why am I still feeling pain? And it was internal, as she stated. She said it ain't no cream. It's something nerve damage is internal. You need something that's going to help internal. And it had nothing to do with no weight loss. It had nothing to do with nothing like that. It's all about controlling my sugars. And this prescription was to help me lower my sugars throughout the night. And then I'll go back to the doctor in November and then assess the matter again, assess my, then the Aetna free resources, they had, one of the free resources was free nutrition counseling. So I'll be getting a call about getting counseling about my, a dietitian over the phone to help me with the I'm doing Weight Watchers, but the nutritionist is what really helped me in the past, even though I was going to the doctor's office with the nutritionist, but this is online. So a lot of these places, they're not doing in coming to the office type of thing for now, but everything's going to be done either on the phone or computer. So that's a good thing. And they help you with different dietary needs and how to, lower your sugar levels with your diet, or nutritionist rather, not diet, but they don't put you on a diet. You work with a nutritionist. So with that, you get more support. And with that, it comes with different plans. So it can help you lower your sugar levels and basically just going over it all over again. I mean, I know it. I know what I need to do, but it's different when you have accountability. And so far, yeah, I could look at the Weight Watchers and stuff, but you don't really get it. They have you go to these meetings and online, but you don't really get accountability like somebody really like, looking at your, you know, food tracking and breaking it down. Weight Watch is good, but they have a lot of free classes online. They have a lot of things you could keep track of. But with a nutritionist, that's a whole different ballgame. So anyway, I've been on here for an hour, 2 minutes. Ain't nobody saying nothing. Colas, you still there? Vicky, who else is on here? Five more. I got 4 likes, 4 thumbs. Can I get 7 for 7 at least? It's not like I've got thousands of subscribers. So where is everybody? Sally, where you at? Usually Sally be on here. You're not on here today. What's going on? Usually y'all be all in the chat. Ain't nobody in here today. It's 11:51 p.m. I need to lock my food for Weight Watchers before midnight comes. That's when I get points for logging in. If I log in breakfast, at least you get points. So I want to I want to develop my streak of tracking. So I don't know. I guess that's pretty about it. I did my survey assignments today, and I went to NamDam. I got a video on that, y'all, on the food shortages. There's no food shortages at NamDam, I can tell you that. I went to the one in Lawrenceville. That's pretty filled up. I bought me a big old seeded watermelon, huge, for $7. And I bought me some muscadine grapes. And I bought me 20 pounds of chicken quarters for $7. That was a good price because I saw it. No, it was cheaper than that because it was cheaper than what I saw chicken quarters at Kroger's. So I bought that. I got it in the freezer. And then I went to Kroger's to do my Nutri assignment, Home Depot. Have you tried? Nope. I'm not doing nope. I'm not doing Nutrisystem. First of all, they're expensive. And second of all, it's that prepackaged food, and I don't, no. Nope. That don't work. Nutrisystem's been around for years. I'm not doing prepackaged food or box. I know HelloFresh, HelloFresh, and they got so many different meal plans that you could get. But I just like going to the grocery store and buy my own groceries, buy my own food. Weight Watchers is better because it's more of a support and it doesn't. I mean, they sell foods, certain snacks and all that kind of stuff, but it's not the same as Nutrisystem. Nutrisystem is a prepackaged, food. I mean, they offer some support, but no. Nutrisystem, you got to buy their food in order for it to work, and I don't. Weight Watchers is more points, and They've gotten better through the years with Weight Watchers. They got the free classes. You can look online. They got the weight, the weight training and different the OB fitness. They have online coaches. I could go online and speak with a coach. It's not about you logging your foods for the different point systems. So they've changed a lot, but Nutrisystem, nah, I'm not interested in. They too expensive, and they focus is more on their meals. Weight Watchers, you basically could eat. If you eat all your points in one thing, which I know I've been doing because I'm not consistently tracking like I supposed to, but um, it's okay. I mean, it's okay, but it's different, and I like it. But I'm not as strict with my eating plan like I used to be because I've kind of not lost motivation. I just need to get back on track. And since a nutritionist and all these free resources are available with my Aetna insurance, speaking to a nutritionist is not Weight Watchers or Nutrisystem. A nutritionist is basically more of nutrition coach, make recommendations, you know, help you in terms of planning your meals. It's different. And I find that working with a nutritionist or a dietitian is very good because they're not going to tell you what to eat. They just make suggestions in terms of planning and nutrition. It's not really a rocket science. I know if you eat vegetables, fruit, drink water, don't eat processed food, don't eat stuff in a box, don't shop the grocery aisle in the middle. Everything in the outside is where healthy things are. So that's known. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. But it's not. But what and implementing it and being accountable and having some accountability is what's important. So that's what Weight Watchers does. Nutrition, these companies they offer in terms of helping people and being part of the community. Weight Watchers they got people who join certain groups. There's groups in the Weight Watchers app. There's and you could be in that group and communicate, and you could see the same people that's in that group, or you go to a class. But see, they limited the class because of the coronavirus. You have to register for the class, and then they only have so many people that's going to be in that room. They don't want a whole bunch of people in that room. There's maybe 5 people, whatever, at each given time because they want to space out. No, I haven't gone to a meeting yet. I scheduled one a couple weeks ago, then I missed it. So, um, it's so different now because the support is now offered through apps, digital. It's not the same like it used to be when even 7 years, 8 years ago, when things were not so app driven, technology driven, digital, everything, you went to meetings with people, when I went to nutritionist with Emory, I went to the office, sat with this person, and that has a really good nutritionist. This one black girl, I went to her, and when she said she was moving on to a different area of Emory, I cried because I was so comfortable with her, months of being with her, talking to her. And when I actually felt a little abandoned because, I was so used to coming in there, every so many um, month or every couple weeks and sitting there with my sessions. And then I went to had another nutritionist, this white lady. She was good too. And just okay, let's see what you did. And I was on Fitbit, not Fitbit, My Fitness Pal, and everything was downloaded on the computer. And they evaluate my meals that I ate. I was like doing meal planning every Sunday. I even my videos. If you go back on my YouTube videos, my YouTube channel was my fitness journey back in the day. If you go back to the earlier videos, you see pictures of me when I was walking up Stone Mountain, climbing on top of Stone Mountain, and I was really big. Those older videos, and it wasn't like this. You would see it, the old channel when I first started. It was about that. I wasn't monetized. I wasn't, and they didn't have this format on YouTube years ago. So my channel initially was my fitness, about my fitness goals. I had showed different meals I would make. I made, before cauliflower was made out of pizza crust. I been did that. I been did the cauliflower pizza crust and making stuff from with cauliflower rice. I said, I'm gonna grind this, make this look like rice. Now they made that in bird's eye. All these companies make cauliflower rice. I said, I been did that. I been started that way before they even was in the supermarket. I been took cauliflower and made it look like rice, put vegetables and stir fries. I was been doing that. I've been did that. The juicing with the green juice and all that stuff. When people were doing all these juicing, I still got my juicer. And now people made that, they bottle that up into juicing and selling it. I was like, what? So I don't get into all those other things because I said, you could do it yourself. Now I've been doing it. Beet juice and carrot juice and mixing together and lime and this and so I got to get back into doing that again. But it's so expensive with the growing your own vegetables. That's why today when I finish downloading these videos, tonight when I get this phone charge, I had an elephant plant. It was like, why this elephant plant ain't growing? And then today it was growing out of the pot. It was growing out the side. And I was like, oh my God, here's my elephant plant. I was so shocked to see it grow. But y'all see it on the video. My phone is dead, so I'm going to download the video. It's a short video, and then I show y'all the video when I went to Van Nam, that International Farmers Market. I bought me 20 pounds of turkey quarters, a big thing of watermelon, seeded watermelon. And I was like, I know this is seeded, but it was a huge watermelon for $6. And I bought some muscadine grapes. Matter of fact, I'm about to get me some muscadine grapes and eat that before I go to bed. Oh no, I'm just gonna drink some water. I eat my grapes tomorrow. But it was like a 2-pound muscadine grapes, purple. It's grape season, so that's a great snack. Muscadine grapes. They had other grapes too, but I bought muscadine grapes. And that's pretty much it. But I just think any program you use, Nutrisystem, Weight Watchers, HelloFresh, HelloFresh, that's a food delivery service where it's meals that you could make and it's already kind of prepped for you. You just make the ingredients or whatever. So HelloFresh is more like people who want to not cook full meals on their own, but you could just get the meal kits and you just make individual meals. But it's not packaged food. HelloFresh is actually fresh foods. Nutrisystem is more processed food. I don't want to do that because that has a lot of salt and everything else. It's not fresh. Those are processed, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to buy Nutrisystem. You have to eat the meals, portion them, but they have it, and you eat it. I don't see how that's healthy. You can lose weight, but if you calorie restricted and then you can only eat this little bit of plate of a food, and I'm like, I'll make my own chicken. I can make my own meals, vegetables from scratch, and just buy me one of those buy me one of those, self, those plates, whatever, the storage thing, and make my own meal prep, make meal, cook on Sunday, and I can make my meals and have it all pre-packaged and put them in the freezer or refrigerator, and and do my own meal kit. I don't need to buy a Nutrisystem to do that. I can make my own meals, go on my little Weight Watchers app and look at different recipes, look at my recipe books and say, oh, I'm going to make this today and just, make my meals. I don't like to do 5-day meals in advance because sometimes cooking 5 meals, 7-day meals and put them in the freezer and stuff, and it don't taste good to me. I like put them in the freezer and then turn around trying to reheat. Nah, that don't taste good to me. I rather make a meal and say, okay, I'm gonna make 3 meals or 6 meals out of that. Say I eat lunch and dinner. Sometimes I eat I eat the same meal for lunch and dinner, or um I'll eat it for like maybe 4 days. But it's certain things I would make. Like if I make spaghetti, I can make spaghetti sauce from scratch with whatever meatballs. Usually gonna be turkey, and then I would make spaghetti as I need to, and then bring it to lunch. And I could probably eat it. I probably have a good 3 or 4 meals from that. I could do that. I do that. I could do that. It's only me. So if I cook Sunday and Wednesdays, and I say, okay, I'm gonna cook XYZ meals like tomorrow. Let me see. Tomorrow is Friday. Either Friday or Saturday, or maybe tomorrow, depending on how I cook. If I cook it in a crock pot, I'm just gonna cook these chicken legs, and it's gonna be stewed chicken legs, which is basically browning chicken legs with gravy, and I eat that with kale. Do I have any kale? Yeah, I do have me some frozen kale. Either one of these vegetables, whatever's in that cabinet, vegetables, rice, and chicken. And then I'll have that. I'll cook that in a crock pot with the chicken legs, and I'll probably cook that for tomorrow night, Saturday, Sunday, and if I do 6 chicken legs, I probably like to eat 2 chicken legs when I eat. That's it. Then Monday, Tuesday, either Wednesday or whatever day I'm gonna cook again, I will either cook spaghetti, even though people say, hey, you really eat no pasta, that's fattening, da da da. But if I put vegetables or zucchini or something, I don't know. If I go to farmer's market and buy me some fresh zucchini, I'll stir fry that and then I'll have something else with it. So it just depends. I'll look at my little recipes and see what I'm gonna cook. But I don't try to eat meat every day, and I'm not eating fried because I'm not trying to buy no more chip. I'm not buying any more grease because I have a little bit of oil left. So the price of oil and cooking oil stuff is expensive, and so I try not. I don't fry. Hey, Cole is 85. You was on here already. So I don't know. Like I said, nope. I ain't got no money to buy no grapeseed oil. I don't cook a lot of stuff with oil. I don't really need to. If I'm cooking, I'm gonna start cooking a lot of my stuff from that crock pot, and I don't need oil for that. I don't saute a lot of things. But if I do buy, I buy maybe olive oil. But the quality of olive oil, I heard, it depends on blend. I ain't got no money for no grapeseed oil. Now, if I go to Trader Joe or maybe some other supermarkets, and I've seen grapeseed oil sold. You could buy that anywhere, but that ain't. Nope. I still got some coconut oil. I could use that. You mean crock pot, not crop? It's crock pot. S is crock, CROCK, not crop. There is no such thing as a crock pot. Yeah, Trader Joe is high in some stuff, but I don't. That's the boxy stuff. That's all that boxing stuff they got. I wanted to go to Trader Joe because it was something I wanted to look for. I can't remember what it was now. It wasn't no fruits and stuff because the bananas and all that used to be like 10 cents and stuff. But nah, Trader Joe has a lot of boxy stuff. Trader Joe's and Aldi's is basically the same company or owned by the same family. Yeah, it's good quality because because Aldi's is and Littles and stuff is based in Germany. Those European Germany companies. But y'all see my video when I download the one I went to Van Dam today. I'm gonna download that. So go and review that once I finish downloading it. Yeah, I like those exquisite things that they sell that you don't, but it's still not as lot in that box. It's no, I don't think no one is better than the other. It's all the same stores. It's just different name to the package. It's all the same. Aldi seems to just have more things to choose from. Trader Joe has more boxy stuff, a lot of boxes and a lot of things that's more variety. Like you find more, you'll see more things at Trader Joe when it comes to like different kind of meals from other countries. Not international farmers market. It's not an international farmers market like you could see at the other store when y'all finish downloading it video and y'all look at it. Um, Aldi's is more for general public. I mean, in terms of saving for groceries. I wouldn't say let me go to Trader Joe and go grocery shopping because everything is in a box. But like snacks, packaged things, like if I wanted to look for different kind of snacks, both of them sell snacks. It's the same. They just sell a little bit more um, exotic things that you may not see at Aldi's, or they may say, "Oh, look at this." I don't know. I can't say what the difference. For me, I can't see myself growing the grocery shopping at Trader Joe's for my groceries because everything is in a box. It's not, and I think it's a little bit pricey. Whereas Aldi's, I know I could truly go grocery shopping and know I'm going to buy eggs, milk, cereal, snacks. You know, yeah, but Aldi's have chocolate too, and it tastes just the same. They have, they don't have a variety. They don't have that big of a variety, but I find that the chocolates from Lindell's, the chocolate from Aldi's, and chocolate from Trader Joe, they all about the same. Now, Lentils is not owned by Trader Joe, but Trader Joe and Aldi's are the same company. So, if you ever look up the history of Aldi's, they mentioned that it's owned by the same family. Just that's all. Just like all Aldi's are not necessarily the same. If you look at the mark, the signs and stuff, it's different, but it's still good. I still like it. I don't know why people don't like Aldi's, but some people starting to gravitate towards Aldi's now that they gone there because a lot of people thinking that it's cheap stuff. I said it's not cheap. Now let me tell you what's cheap. The cheap supermarket is somewhat like Food Depot and Wayfair Foods. Now that's cheap. When I mean cheap, I'm talking about it's in the most lower end type of area. I don't know about Western beef. I don't know what that is. Um, Like they mentioned Wayfair food here in Atlanta. Wayfair food, da da da. But then um when you go there, I think they kind of price it. For one thing, it's the most tend to be more in the ghetto. I ain't gonna say ghetto, but it ain't the most wide of areas to go to, you know? So, hmm. Trader Joe, when I used to go there, I used to either go there because I always wanted these peas snacks. It's peas, but it's look like it's little snacks. And you could I don't too much care for kale chips no matter how much people be like, oh, this tastes good. But I said, nah, I can't eat no kale chips. There's something missing from it. But they got the peas that look like snacks. I used to eat those. When I couldn't eat no potato chips anymore and I would stop eating chips and stuff and cookies, I would always go to Trader Joe to get the peas, and it was crunchy. It was just peas that they made, and it was, a little bit of salt. It had like a little hint of salt in it. And yeah, like I said, it had kale chips. I didn't like it. I tried to make kale chips from kale, put it in the oven, and I was like, I said, man, this thing don't taste. I wasted up kale for no reason. I should have cooked it like a regular vegetable, trying to make them as chips. That thing didn't taste good. No, I don't know. I haven't tried that. Like black bean chips. I've seen them, but there's other snacks that I could eat. Like I said, they got the little peas. Those were good. They also have those at Aldi's too, but it's a different name, but it's the same thing. But for some reason, when I bought those things at Trader Joe, it tastes really good. And I remember that was my snack. If I wanted any chips, I would have that, and it was very low sodium, very low calorie, and it was actually peas, and it just hydrated. Put some salt in it, and you could eat it. No, I don't like no sun chips. That's regular potato chips. That's not really healthy. That's just like regular old corn chips. I'm talking about peas that was actually um made into a chip. Sun chips, that's not the same thing. That ain't nothing but corn chips. All right, I got 10 of y'all in the room, only 4 thumbs. So where's the other? Go ahead and give me the thumbs up so I could, it ain't like I got 100 people. So, well, if you see those again, buy them and try it. You like it. It tastes good. It tastes really good. They have other flavors too, wasabi and some other ones, but the actual green pea one is the one I like. No, you ain't eating healthy, eating no sun chips. Sun chips is just regular old potato chips. Just corn chips, that's all. Well, try the green pea first. That's the regular one. And then if you want to try other flavors, you can get the other flavors. But try that first. That tastes good. Now, I don't know how much it costs anymore because it was a few years ago when I first started buying them. But I would buy that, and that would be my snack for the chips. So rather than me eating potato chips and Pringles and Lay's, and I would buy those green. No, well, I don't know. I don't remember. I usually buy those blue chips from the farmers market, and then I buy the salsa, the actual salsa. Now that's what I like at Aldi's. They have the actual salsa, and I would eat the chips with that. Nope, don't do multigrain. I buy the blue chips when I go to Big Habs Farmers Market, or if they have the regular restaurant style tortilla chips. I buy that because it's 89 cents and it's cheap and that tastes good. So I buy those from Aldi's. The only reason why I don't go to Trader Joe's because I don't feel like going to Peachtree Corners because that's a good little travel. But if I'm in the area, I always pass by Peachtree Corners and I say, "Oh, I'm gonna go there and buy me some snacks," but it'll be already like 9:30 at night, and then I don't feel like stopping. Yes, you ask questions that acts like that's so surprised. What do you think? I don't know where you be living at to ask questions like if they got good things at the farmers market. I mean, have you ever been to a farmers market that don't have nothing good, especially if it's a farmers market that sells things from the farm, even if some of the stuff is bought from wholesalers and some people try to sell it like they had a farm. Yes, that's what makes farmers market what it is. I don't know which one you be going to, but I've if you went to a true farmers market, you know. I don't know where you be living at and where you be going. I ain't never. You need to travel outside of wherever it is that you be going. I never heard that. I'm not talking about people who buy stuff off a truck and then they come and then set up. That's not a farmers market. So you may not be going to farmers markets. You may be going places where they already got that thing at a warehouse and they go to the warehouse and then they sell it on the street, which is no different than them going to the supermarket and putting it in a low end supermarket place. Well, that has to be it because I read somewhere on YouTube that people were doing that about quality of foods. That people are passing along saying farmers market. They turn around. They actually go to these places. That's like a big old warehouse. They go to these warehouse and they load up all these vegetables and fruit, and then they turn around and sell it like it's a farmer's market, and it's not. Matter of fact, it was a documentary of a film someone made, and it doesn't. And it was they were looking they were doing that in Canada, and they were doing it some parts of the United States, and they were coming off as if they was a farmer's market, and they weren't. And that was a film right up on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, you can find some of those documentaries that talked about it. They weren't farmers markets. All they did was and they even showed them by filming them and said, "Well, you said you was a farmers market, but look at the film." And they were showing them, and they showed them exactly where they were at. They were right there in these warehouses getting these foods and stuff. I need to find. I can't remember the name of it, but they talk about that. A lot of places, it's not. I would think the cab farmers markets like that too. Oops. But um, you don't really find places that you could just get stuff straight off the farm and then you just right there on your truck. So it is what it is. Even those smaller places that I see around, they used to have a casa. They used to sell, um, especially in the summer and into the fall. They will have places set up with farmers markets, and they would have it like at some of the churches, and you could buy. Well, I bought me a seeded watermelon today at Van Dam. It's a big, huge watermelon that's sitting right downstairs that I bought today. It said it was seeded, so dang, it's so big. I need to cut it up so I could put I could put it in the refrigerator so it'd be nice and cold when I eat it. They said it was seeded, so I'm trying to save the seeds. So, Colas, if you want some seeds from watermelon, I could send it to you. Because actually, when I do this, is this a seeded watermelon? It better be seeded because I'm gonna get my $6 back if it's not. Go right on back and said this. Even though they have a sign saying they're not taking no food back, nor exchanges or refunds because of the COVID, but so I suppose so. This watermelon was seeded that I bought today. It was $7. It wasn't $6. It was $7, 6.99. But it was huge. It's big. So I'll be cutting into that tomorrow. And I hope it's sweet too. It looked like it could be because it was nice and heavy. And then I'm gonna save the seeds, and then I'm gonna plant them in my little thing tomorrow. Yeah, I bought seedless watermelon. The last time I bought a watermelon a few weeks ago, it was seedless. It had some yellow seeds, but it didn't taste all that good. Matter of fact, in my video when I finish downloading it, you're gonna see that I put the actual watermelon in the garden. Well, it's in the dirt patch because it's gonna decompose, so it could fertilize the seeds, not the seeds, the dirt and the compost. Once I put some compost on there tomorrow, because I already put some manure, so I'm gonna mix it up. So I'm trying to amend the soil naturally through different um, rotted fruits and compost. So the watermelon's been composting. I didn't put it in the compost pile that's in the other back of the house, but I put it on the side. I know all of this is gaining a lot of ants and critters eating it, but it's going to decompose. So that's about it. What? I only got 5 thumbs. What happened to the other 4 thumbs ups? I heard they said you could actually eat the watermelon rind and you could blend that up and you could actually drink that. You blend it up real well. You could actually eat the rind. But I don't know how I'll do all that. I think that'll taste too bitter. I don't know if I would do that though. Ain't no telling what they sprayed on the outside of that watermelon. You have to wash that real well for me to blend it up and actually drink it. Mm, I'm not putting that thing in that water. I'm not putting no rinds in that watermelon. I'm not gonna do it. Maybe I'll try and see what it tastes, but I'll take when I cut that watermelon tomorrow and put that thing in the Vitamix. I'll see how it tastes, but not. I don't know. You have to put the whole watermelon and the rind. Maybe it tastes sweet, but just to eat the rind, eat the watermelon, and then try to blend the white and the green part together and drink it. Oh no, I'm talking about grinding the whole thing. Well, I know if you do the inside, it'll taste good, but I'm talking about. They say you could actually drink the whole watermelon and grind that up. Did you get my message today? Because I sent you a message on your text. I think I came across your text message on that was on my list. Did you see a text message? I said, "Is this Colas?" I know I didn't spell the name right. So did you see it? Because I'm trying to delete through one. It was sent earlier. It wasn't today, but I think it was yesterday. I think so. I don't know. You could send me a text message, whatever. But I think I did send it. You can send a text message because I think I'm trying to delete all my space. I think I did send it. 646. All right, it's an hour and 41 minutes. I said I was going to be on here no longer because I'm supposed to make my announcement about Amazon. I'll be going back next Saturday, and my short term disability was approved, and I'll be getting 60% of my pay. I'll check it. My phone is dead. All right, I'm thirsty and I'm tired. It's 12:30. Let me see. I got a survey assignment. I'm supposed to do some restocks that pays $20 an hour for me to go to. What am I supposed to be restocking? Something. Something I'm supposed to be restocking. And I got a whole bunch of those stores to do that starts tomorrow. I think it starts tomorrow. But yeah, on survey, I know what it was. It was shampoo. It was some kind of brand shampoo. I'm supposed to go to these Kroger's and it's $20 an hour and I'm supposed to restock and do whatever. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow night. Yep. These last couple of weeks, I made a lot of money with the survey. I know y'all ain't been signing up doing them, but that's okay. They had I talked about it enough. I ain't gonna talk about it no more. Even though I do get a little referral from it, but it been some real good assignments that I've been doing lately, at least here in Atlanta. Now I'm quite sure nationwide they got some, but I don't know. I'm gonna do. I know Erica told me to make a how-to video, so I'm gonna do a how-to video because I need to delete a lot of my. Don't even say that, Colas, because I know I sent the link out. I'm gonna send it to you again, and you could tell me if you signed up. Let me put it in the link. I'm gonna put it in the link one more time. But that's not the only one that I get a lot of gift points, gift cards and stuff. So yeah, let's see. I'll put the link, and if y'all want to look at it, download it, see what they got. Don't be trying to look for the big ones like the resets. Like, oh my God, I want to do a reset that's $120 because you be there 8 hours a day at a store. And when you break it down, it's like 15 an hour. But if you think about 15 an hour or $30 per store for something that's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I make more doing smaller assignments and going to different stores because you know exactly where you're going. If you live in a pretty good sized city, it could be a lot, especially if it's Publix, um, Kroger, Walmart, those type of things. What are you doing? What do you mean? What are you laughing for, Colas? What happened? What did I do? You seen something you ain't supposed to be seeing? Because I know I put this this dress I got on. What were you laughing at? I ain't say nothing funny. But yeah, so these last couple of weeks, I've almost made $1,200, and I haven't even cashed out yet. But I'm gonna do a how-to video, and the more you do it, like I said, the more you do these, and this ain't the only company I work with. I do Observer and some of these other ones, but let me put Observer in the link too, because I could look at Observer and look at the map, and I see assignments all over the place. But I haven't done Observer in a minute, but I have a lot of things to do with them. Yeah, that's true. Ain't nobody gonna do no 8 hours and no, because they sometimes it's aggravating those resets because there's other companies where people are employees for some other these companies, and they be like, some old lady becoming, short old lady. I'm like, back up, Sometimes they could be a pain in the ass. I said, I'm only gonna be here for 3, 4 hours and that's it. And they act like they paying you money. You ain't paying me. You better worry about the company you work with and not worry about me. I'm an independent contractor, you know? And all you're doing is taking stuff off a shelf, put them in a box or a bin, and then they got people who actually built the bins or the shelves, you know. And all you're doing is taking stuff off a shelf, put them in a box just to turn around and rearrange it back again and clean off a shelf and putting price tags. They be doing a little bit too much. And sometimes half the time when you're there, when you first start, you don't even start right away. I don't care. They said be here at 8 o'clock. If they ain't start until 9:30, so be it. And then take a break, and then sometimes they be disorganized with some of these companies. But I'm there. They say, I say, I'm here with survey.com. They don't even know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I think you could go to these companies and resets, go there, sign a little sheet, take a little picture, roam around for a bit, come back, take a picture and say, this is what I did. And then when you log out, because the app will actually kind of keep track of where you are. But sometimes, shoot, like today, I was supposed to go to Sprouts this morning at 5 a.m. to do an assignment, and then I get a message from Survey that they said they had too many people and they had a service call because I think there was confusion about something. And I said, okay, well, whatever, no big deal, But there's a whole lot of companies have the same assignment. ACM, I'm an employee with them. They had assignment, and I put in a request in. I put a bid in to work, and I ain't, they says, oh, we do a service call, and I ain't hear nothing back. And then, yep. I remember the people you used to work with online. Yep, that was them. I was an independent contractor. Then they switched everybody as an employee. And then they must have lost several contracts because they had that big remodel for Walmart. You never got a call from Instacart. Psst, man, Instacart, boo. They suck. I saw a couple people. I saw a girl doing Instacart the other day when I was doing my assignments with Survey. And I think I told her about this. I even showed her. And everything. I don't know if she signed up to do it or not, but you know, some people may download it and they may look at it and they forget all about it and they don't, I don't think they forget about it. They just look at it thinking it's $7.50, $7, Don't I'm telling you, they corrugate all the stores that follows the route. Literally, if I say I'm gonna accept these, I say, yeah, I'm gonna do these stores. It literally takes you each store in sequence. And the other day when I did about 8 stores and I put the track miles from the time I left my house to the time I got back home, I was like, dang, I only drove 26 miles because you literally, you see one Kroger, another Kroger's a mile down the road, and you literally going, and all I'm doing is taking pictures, straightening up, checking pricing, putting pricing on the phone. I'm gonna do a walkthrough. Once I figure out how to show it and how to do it, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna do not a live video. I'm gonna tape it and I'm gonna walk around. In fact, I may do it tomorrow. I may do one tomorrow. I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna say, all right, this is the store and this is what I'm looking, and I'm gonna do a video, and then I'm gonna show y'all what I'll be doing and what I'll be talking about, and show y'all some of the tricks, because when it says a manager's name, I don't be looking for nobody. I'll be like, I said, shoot, let me see. Or sometimes you look at the manager's name when you walk into a store like Kroger's and thing and say the manager name is, and I'll just, I say, oh, that's the manager. Or I just look for an employee, and if they have a name tag on, or I may ask them, what's your name? I'm saying, I don't get into the, I'm here, I need to do this. I just go ahead and do what I need to do. Check the milk, restock it, straighten it up, take a picture, put the pricing and move on. That's it. It ain't no, I got to this. They got to look for the manager. No, because you ain't gonna never find a manager. You're never gonna find whoever's working. You're never gonna get no opinion about what can you do to improve the sales. I just put nothing, and that's it. Because they don't, I said all this, and y'all want all this little information. You don't need to do all that. You don't need to do all that. All you need to do is just put up a name. You figure, the black folks need to make up a name, Jason Williams. Somebody's name's gonna be Jason in the store. And sometimes you go to the stores like Publix, they may want you to check. Like, okay, let me give you an example. I had to go to Home Depot and look for the Frito Lay chip stand. You know how they sell chips and stuff at the store? It was $10. So I walked in there. I went to the section that says Pro area and I said, nope, I don't see no potato chips, nothing. And I took a picture. I took a picture where I saw some potato chips or whatever. They said, what color was it? Gray. I chose the color, took a picture of that, took a picture, answered some questions from that. Boom, submitted, $10. That was it. The other one, I've been doing this for a while, checking milk, Hood Milk. I go there, take a picture of the overall freezers of the milk. Nope, out of stock, no carry. Take a picture, boom. And that's it. It's so simple. It's not that hard. Now, if you make a mistake, they'll tell you, oh, you didn't do this. This picture's not correct, or this picture's crooked. Then you go back to the store and, just make the correction, and that's it. Now, when you do it for a while, after a while, you do the same assignment. It's like you already know exactly what to do. And sometimes people be all in the way. You be trying to take a picture, and then it's like, "This, can you hurry up get the milk?" I be thinking that in my mind. I'll be saying it, and that's it. And boom, and they give you a certain date that is due and the time at the end of the evening. Especially if it's like Kroger. If it's like Kroger's, you could try to do that either early in the morning or late at night before the time expires, and that's it. If not, Observer, I have to look through all these envelopes because I get these coupons in the mail, and you're supposed to put them on the item. I have a bunch of those I need to do, and those pay PayPal the next day. So that's one thing about Observer. You see the link in the other one, observernow.com. That's my referral link for that. And that one has all over the country. I could see where they have it at. If I look on there, I can say, oh, okay, they got these stores. No, that's the referral links. Just click on the referral links that I put in the chat, and then you could download the survey app and the observer one. So download those two links. Those are my referral links, but that's the app itself. And I mean, you're not gonna be rich you're not gonna be rich from it, but look at it like this. And I made this analogy a long time ago. Say you do either one of those apps, if you do it together or you do them separate. Say you do $35. You say, you know what? This pays 10, this pays $20. And say you just do $35 a day. Just minimum. That's really minimum. And you do that every day. And you do it for a whole year. You know that's like 12,000 something dollars that you could make just doing that alone. And that's just making $35. And I was doing that, these two companies, and there's a whole bunch of other ones that I've done. And I always said, you know what? If I could make $35 a day, every day, because everybody goes to Walmart, one way or another, you walking into somebody's supermarket, Walmart, Kroger, Publix, whatever. And these companies hire people to audit products in a store, whether by taking a simple picture or checking pricing. It's real simple. It's not difficult. It's real simple. And there's a bunch of other apps out there. This ain't the only two. There's a lot of companies that's out there. And I came across this a couple years ago because I was reading at Major Online. They was talking about these apps that people were doing merchandising and checking pricing for stores, and it was paying like 10, 15, 20, $25 mystery shopping. And there's a new name for it. They don't say mystery shopping, but it's not the same thing. You just buy a product and that's it. So they were saying this new gig where people were making extra money on an app, and they was talking about these companies. And there's one company, I just can't remember the name, but they real popular in the Northeast. So I said, oh, let me see if they got that in Secret Shopper. And I did Secret Shopper. That's an app, but I haven't looked at them. I haven't looked at that for so long. But it was some other companies where people were making little money doing it. And that's what I think I came across. I came across this. And then I looked on YouTube and I saw a guy doing it. And he was on the weekends. He would go to the stores and he would do it on the weekend. And he would make a couple $100, doing them. But after that, I haven't seen him do any videos. So I found that out. And I said, dang, I wish I found that out when I was doing Uber Eats and Grubhub at the time. And I would have put that app and the food apps together, and I would have really made some money. I really would. And I've been bumping into people in Atlanta. When I found out, I was looking up there. I said, wait a minute, they doing the job that I was doing. I was supposed to go to this supermarket, Kroger's, and put up the accessories. I was supposed to go and say I'm a vendor for Watch USA. And I go in the back, get this box, and I walk around the supermarket and put up these toys and these accessories for the cell phone accessories. And it was like $25 an hour. And I would say, okay, I did this for an hour and a half, because sometimes they say this should only take you 2 hours to do, sometimes 3, but it's really an hour and a half. I don't try to do 3 hours because I have other stores to do. And if I spend one store doing 3 hours and I have other stores to go to, I'm losing money and I don't only have so much time. So this one that I have at Kroger, $20 an hour, putting up some shampoo, and all I have to do is stock it up and straighten it up. And I said, oh, that's it. So I have a bunch of them tomorrow, and it's all in the area. It's not even far. As a matter of fact, it's right here in Lilburn, Tucker. So literally, it's like in my area. And that's the good thing about doing these apps. You mean like store managers and stuff, or just people who just want to walk around and act like they see you doing something. And I used to get rude people, especially at Kroger. When I had to take, excuse me, this is Becky be looking, this is lady, she's taking pictures around the store, and then this manager, he come here, excuse me, what are you doing? And then why are you, I said, why are you in my face? For one thing, why are you all up in my face? They act like people ain't got apps, they got phones and they have going to the grocery store. So I get people like that, they be like, she's taking pictures, you know. That was like last year. But so many people are on the phone doing grocery shopping, taking pictures. They don't even ask. They so short-handed anyway. They need to worry about, why don't you worry about getting this line out of this way than worrying about me taking pictures. So see, because people be doing grocery shopping for Instacart and all these different companies, people taking pictures and stuff like that ain't no big deal. So, but not anymore. No, not anymore. And like I said, they so busy preoccupied doing whatever the hell they be doing. Like today, when I went to Namdan, one of the things that I had to do was check if the representative in the grocery line, because I did buy groceries at the Van Nam, and it asked the question: was the cashier wearing a name tag? Was they in uniform? Were they rude? Were they professional? Did they greet you? I was like, I already put no. I put no, 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 rude, 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 no name tag, no greeting, no nothing. I already knew. I went right to that line, and they, sure enough, they say, "How you doing? Did you find anything?" All those questions were answered already because I knew they wasn't going to do it. So that's part of their rating that Namdam does. They get hired. They hire companies to go to stores to evaluate employees. Because I did a lot of mystery shopping with this other company, Trend Source. I was supposed to go to Sprint. Now it's T-Mobile. I had a bunch of those assignments. Those was paying like $14, and I would go to each store, charge on my phone, and then I got paid $14, and I would go to these different Sprint stores. That's when I had that little $35 goal per day. So I made my little minimum, and I made a lot of money with those companies. They still bugging me to death. Let me put it in the chat. Trend Source. I don't get no referral with this, but they bug me to death. Trendsource.com. They pay $14 for you to go to Home Depot, Office Depot to check their printing ink. They asked me 3 times today, we paying $20 plus this to go. I was like, no, because the last time I did one, y'all didn't even pay me, and they all keep sending me back to the store talking about, they said the printer is there, and then you walk into the store checking for printers, and I was like, I don't like this. So but I'm not saying that's the only assignment they have. They have a whole bunch of other ones. They have one where once I get certified again to do background checks for, not background, but the I-9 verification. You go to companies and you call them on the phone. You say, I'm here to do your I-9 verification. They know exactly what you're talking about because they're supposed to get verified. So there's a lot of companies out there. I have a whole bunch of companies that I work with, but I've been so preoccupied doing so many other stuff, I can only do so much. But it's actually a good business to do. You can make several $1,000s doing it. And there's one that I get paid $50 just to go to apartments, complexes, pretending that I want to rent, and then I do reports. I get a lot of requests for that. But that was time consuming. That was the one I was doing when I had my laptop and I was in Chick-fil-A and I was doing those reports when I was out and about. They pay that. They said, why spend money on vacation when you could do a mystery shopping for apartments? So if I ever go to Miami or anywhere, and some of them, they even have virtual tours. You could be on the phone. All I do is call them up on the store, call them up, inquire about some rent apartments, $10. It was like a whole list of them, and I didn't even do them. I was like, man, it's too much. You gotta wait till somebody pick up the phone and Then some of them ask you have to wait for a certain person, a specific person. And I was like, okay, I made 3 attempts already, So that one could be, I got paid some good money doing that, but they took too long to pay. Sometimes you don't get paid till the following month. You do a report for mystery shopping. Sometimes you got to wait till the next month to get paid. And so I kind of left them alone for a minute. And I said, I ain't got time, but there's a lot of companies. I have a list. I think what I'm going to do is put them all on this referral list and talk about. I think I'm gonna do a blog and talk about it, so y'all could start reading my blog when I write about it. But it's money to be made. There's other ways of making money, and when you see people make YouTube videos about it, um, a lot of people talk about it, but they never done it. They just like to, make videos, but they never really done them before. Some people have done it in the past, but they never, but a lot of people, let me tell you what some people on YouTube does. This one lady, her name is Danielle. She used to be a property preservation, and she was doing that where people have properties, and then she would send people out there to do the cleaning or something she would do. She made like ebooks out of it, and she was also talking about mystery shopping, and she would actually package it as a service where people pay for the information from her. So she may charge somebody like $100 and something dollars just to get a list of companies that did mystery shopping. I was like, people are paying for information like that, but I guess some people just don't try to look for them themselves. So she sells it, and I don't think she ever did it herself. You know, I've done these apps, so I could tell y'all about it, but I haven't talked about it too much because one, somebody else will steal it and get the information and then try to package it themselves, and they don't give you the credit that they got the information from me. And I'm not trying to charge nobody no $50 just to get them a list. I just tell y'all, this is the company. Here's my referral link, you know, and people, sign up. If they don't do them, they don't do them. If they sign up and I see that they haven't started, so be it. But I know if I start showing y'all how to do it and maybe make videos where I go about how I do it. But I'm gonna tell you, since I did this not last year, but the year before last, I started this in February of 2019. 2019, I did it for a few months. I made about $1,000 that year, but I was doing some other things too. The mystery shopping from the other companies I was talking about, I was doing those. Then 2020 of last year, that's when I made about a little bit over $5,000. No, I made 4,000, about 4,000, and then adding from what I did the previous time when I started, I made about 5,000 total. Then this year, after I did about 500 assignments, then I'm at about 6,000 something. So by the time I add what I made and cash out, then I would have made about 7,000. So hopefully by between now and the end of the year, I would say I've made maybe close to 6,000 or something. I don't know. I'll show y'all what it looks like. I'm trying to figure out how do you show the screen and show it so I could show you, how to go about. I don't know how you share the iPhone, how you link it up so I could show y'all what it looks like. But between this and some other companies I've done in the past, I say that you can make a good little income from doing it. You know, I'm not saying you're gonna make $1,000 a week, but I mean you can, because there's people who I saw, they was doing it longer than me. They only do the resets. They only do those reset stores. Some one lady, she actually travels with different companies doing the resets, and then she does survey, but she will only do it if they had go to Publix and do a reset for 8 hours and pay $150 or whatever, and she would only do those. They ask me all the time to do them, but I'd be like, "Where is it at?" It's too early in the morning, and sometimes it'd be too far. So I don't really do them because I turn them down. And then when I did get one, which was yesterday or today, then they canceled it because they had too many people. So I'm quite sure next week they'll be asking me, "We have a reset next Friday," or and then it'd be like almost time for me to go back to work. But they will ask me, they're going, because this is the time of season, this is the time of year, they have a lot of resets because they're changing over from the fall. That's when they put up all their little Halloweens. No, well, not so much Halloween. They changed the stores. I don't know about those sleep studies. I never heard of that before. That's not the same thing. That's that. Those are those what you call it, medical experiments. They say they need people to test whatever. That's not the same thing. I get those too, but I never get those studies. Because if you're diabetic and this and that, you get a free. They doing some health study to take a pill. One is a placebo and one is the actual. Nope, I don't do that. Or taste testing. I get a lot of those. I signed up for that. I signed up for something like that before. I never get anything. They're like, "Go to Johns Creek and we want to do a testing on some brand new sandwich that's whatever." Nope, that's not what I'm talking about. Colas, you'll be bringing up stuff that don't have nothing to do in line of what I'm talking about. That is not merchandising. That's self-study medical. That don't have nothing to do. I don't do nothing like that. For one thing, when they asked for case studies, even when they was asking people about this virus thing, they was asking for case studies for people. Oh, we need 10,000 people to test out whatever. No, and they pay you. No, not doing all that. For one thing, I never get chosen. Um, it's too much of a screening you got to go through, and I ain't talking about stuff like that. No, I'm not doing nothing like that. For one thing, that's not. I don't even. You don't even know how to get into those studies. You get those things all the time. You know how many people get those and reply, and the chances of you being chosen for such thing like that is not that. It's slim to none. Somebody gonna get chosen, but no, I'm not doing that. That's not. That's not. That's not an independent contractor. That's just something people choose just for case studies. My whole topic ain't got nothing to do with that. So stay on point. Stay on topic. Stop asking me questions like that. Have you ever did this? Did you ever did? Did you ever when it didn't know? That don't have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm quite sure somebody could Google it, and they pay people tens of thousands for you to, a certain age with your eggs for people. That's medical experimentation. That's not what I'm talking about. I've been on here 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I said, I'm ready to go to bed. But check out the links, and like I said, you could look at it, you could preview it, you know exactly where you're going, you know the address, you know the store, you ain't gotta worry about no tips. Oh, I'm gonna see if I get a tip. Oh, I gotta drive just to get this pay. That's too much. All that food deliveries, and I'm wondering if I'm gonna get a tip. You don't know where you're going. You don't know how far you're gonna go. You don't know what you're gonna be picking up. Mm-mm. That's just too much. Food delivery apps, I think, is being dried up. I think it's not, with all this shortages and restaurants. Um, I just can't see going to Zaxby's and picking up somebody's food and you in that long wrapped up line around the building. You know, nah. I don't know how long people are gonna really do that. How long is people really gonna spend money to order Grubhub? And I don't even hear Grubhub as much, to be honest. When I think about it, I don't hear about Grubhub anymore in Atlanta like I used to. At least the ones I see now is mainly DoorDash. I don't see Uber Eats as much anymore. I don't see Uber Eats. I don't see people. I hear to do Uber Eats. I don't hear nobody talk about Uber Eats. I don't know if anybody on here is still doing it, but Uber Eats. I see DoorDash a lot, but eventually DoorDash is going to be a little bit. You wait and see. It's going to be going down and down, and eventually people gonna stop doing them. I don't, Instacart. I still see people do Instacart, but I think Walmart is really gonna be picking up because I'm waiting to do Walmart, but I'm not going tomorrow. Walmart, you could do Walmart Spark drivers. You pick up groceries at the Walmart and deliver. Um, right now in Atlanta, it is Sandy Springs and Morrow, but I think Sandy Springs, they only got that one store in Sandy Springs that people go to and deliver, and Morrow's the other one. And I said their map is too large. You could be going anywhere South Georgia to be, I'm wait. I'll wait and see if they start expanding in other parts of Atlanta before I decide if I'm going to do that grocery deliveries again. But I got the app downloaded, but mm, I don't know. I think that once they start really establishing themselves at these other Walmarts, they'll start doing them. But I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. But we'll see what happens because they say winter is coming, and I don't know if they're gonna do these shutdowns or if there will be a shutdown or whatever happens. But for those who got unemployment and they ain't got it no more, all I could tell you is go to see if Amazon is hiring because I'd rather work at least these last 3 months to try to at least work a job rather than doing these deliveries exclusively and that's the only source of income. I'd rather just find me a job somewhere, and even if you could work a few months and see how it goes with these gig works, and I'm gonna still do my other little assignments that I'm doing. But if if I was anyone doing gig work, Vicky, I think I'd rather try to get myself into finding a job, working, even though Amazon may be a little bit rough at times, but I rather benefit from working and getting my little $18 an hour and, you know, than to exclusively rely on these food delivery apps. You know, I just can't. It's too much change in the ball game. Especially with Amazon doing its own thing now. Even though people drive to Walmart to pick up the groceries, but I see Kroger's and Walmart. I see so many people in store grocery shoppers at Walmart and Kroger's, and all they doing is grocery shopping. And it is so many people ordering groceries, driving up there to pick it up. So I think if you're looking for a job, you're going to be most likely a grocery shopper at Walmart and Kroger's during the day, in the evenings, and you constantly have something to do. I don't know how much they pay. I heard Walmart did increase the pay to at least $15 at one time. Maybe they went up a little bit, but I would think that if they desperately need people, they'll pay a little bit more than 15, or at 15. They may just pay 15. I don't know. But I would at least try it out. Try to get something now if you can. If unemployment has ended, which it has, I would really try to get, and I ain't talking about you not skilled. I mean, I'm skilled. I'll be working TurboTax doing taxes and stuff again come December. And I'm always working because one, it's best to keep that money flowing no matter how it is. And I ain't trying to use my brain and be all, I already have to do a lot of taxes and numbers and all that stuff when tax season come. And then when I find something else, you know, insurance or whatever it is I'm going to be doing in the future, I need something that's going to be like, boom. I ain't got to, all I can do is be in my zone, pick up some packages and put them in a box and, and not be fast and make sure I scan them and that's it. I ain't trying to, okay, let me try to resolve your problem. I ain't got time to think, I could do that later on. I could do that when I get tired of physical labor. But, you know, I'm trying to be at this later stage in my career or life, working life, is just to build up my retirement, pay off my little debts, house, come up with some money to remodel when it needs to, when it's time for me to remodel and fix up and paint or do whatever I need to do. And when I get 60, I'll be 53 this year, 7 more years. When I'm 60, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be nobody's, I'm not trying to be responsible as a supervisor or, worried on stuff like that. Yeah, I'm going to learn some new skills in these coming months and year, trying to keep up my skill set because I don't have to necessarily work for someone. If I learn, you know, web design, web software development, or whatever, you could actually be a contractor and contract yourself out and do projects, do little projects that's needed, you know, especially if it's like a $83,000, 90,000, $100,000 a year job, or whatever it is. You can just be a consultant and just get projects and say, okay, I'll take this project, and that's it. It's not that constant grind and working and this and that. It's about being smart. And in the meantime, because like I said, a lot of jobs is not going overseas. A lot of jobs are going to be automated. A lot of jobs are going to be more computers, and it's going to be less people that's needed. But there's always going to be a need for certain people at certain skills, and based upon how this world is going towards, they said there's like millions of jobs that's going to be created with this cares, with that infrastructure bill. They're going to need people in all levels, welders, people to technical, you know, it's a whole new skill set that's going to be needed in the future. And if you prepare yourself and what's demand. That's one thing I have to say about Amazon is that they do have a 2030 goal. 2030 goal is to upskill people in certain skill sets. Welders, medical, billing, and software developers. Those are the three main things that there were some other ones too, but those were the ones I remembered. It was construction, like welding, software developers, and medical coding. So, medical coding, you can learn medical coding. I could do that from home. I could be an independent contractor and do that and do medical coding and do my own medical billing coding. I could learn that. Software developer. They always have people, they always have projects. Every time I turn around, every company I look for when I was looking at the career section, and then you look at technology, software developer, Unix. It was a whole bunch of things in certain related to technology, coding of some sort. And then as for construction, they said welding. Somebody got to build these bridges. That spending bill. They have to build bridges. You know, they have to build, um, fix these walls. I mean these roads. I even seen. I'm gonna say this one last thing that I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give my. I'm gonna wait till 22:30, 2 hours and 30 minutes. And I'm gonna make this point. So I was when I was driving around and the little construction things that I do see going on. I don't know what they're doing up the street, but they doing something. I know. I don't know if they're putting up something new for the wireless. I hope it's something with wireless fiber optics or something. I hope it's something like that going on, but I don't know. But I was driving and I seen women. They just standing there with the steel boots on and yellow vest with the sign. I've seen several women as I was driving. I seen them on the road. And all they do is hold the stick and turn, go, stop, and have a little radio. They ain't doing no hard labor, right? They just standing there, making sure they control the traffic and whatever else they be doing. And um, I've seen several women. I was driving along, and I'm like, well, dang. And I know they getting paid good money just to. I mean, yeah, be if it's sunny and hot outside, that's sun beaming down. But sheesh. But I know they getting paid some good money to stand there at a construction site and you holding up a sign. You ain't they ain't digging no ditches. They ain't doing nothing, no equipment. They just stand there and just make sure that traffic goes accordingly. But um whatever it is that you do or you have to do in that type of job, they're gonna need people like that. Sometimes it's not about knowing how to put up wires, and I mean you get paid a lot of money if you was able to do that. But that is something that's a learned skill if you want to do that. You know, be welding. It was a girl I knew at the church I used to go to. She went to school for study for welding, and they paid quite well. And she went through whatever training program it was, and you just went to school for welding, and then you go into someone, and then even starting out, as someone brand new, it was pretty good. And I was like, what? So you could imagine, and especially if you're in a city like New York, where it's union, you get in the union, part of that union, and it's like the opportunities there, and they're gonna be a lot of things coming out of this infrastructure bill regarding jobs, and it ain't about age, because if you able to do it and you know about it, and they're gonna need welders, and they're gonna need people in a lot of different fields that people should take advantage of, and it's gonna be well paying jobs, careers doing it. And I know one thing, um, there's some contract positions regarding that. I have a webinar next week to listen to that's going to talk about how to get government contracts in regards to the infrastructure bill. So I'll be listening to that, taking notes, and coming back to y'all to report about it and tell y'all about it. Some of y'all asked me about y'all want to get grants, but it's not easy, but it's not difficult. You just have to work at it and have an idea what kind of grant you want to offer. And if you want to do a security, I know Cole is you want to do a security company. If it's the best time to do security, it's the best time to start it now. And you go to the SBA.gov and tell them what you want to do and say, I want to do security, a security firm, and that's what you want to do. They could probably help you start a business, get money to start a business in security. Even if you're doing installation security or a guard or whatever it is you want to do, they're going to have government contracts for that. They're going to need government contracts for something like that, you know? But you have to know what's involved. But if you want to start a business, go to the SBA.gov and help you start a business, because either one, you start a business that's going to be demand, that solves a problem. Two, you do a career that's in demand that that you could study for the coming future. Not even future, now, and going forward for the future. Ain't no point crying over, I need my job, and then it's something like that's obsolete, something that's no demand for. And fussing over about we should get $15 for minimum wage to flip burgers and stuff. No, I'm sorry. I know there's some places in California and some place I heard on YouTube about these fast food places. In-N-Out was paying $18 an hour. I was like, nobody pay no $18 for no In-N-Out burger place. If they do pay that, it's because they can't find nobody. And if they pay $18, that means the price of food to eat there is going to go up, because ain't nobody going to pay $18 an hour to do that type of job. And if they do pay $15 or $18, most likely they're going to say either they're going to see if they can sustain the business long enough to stay open, and they'll try to get some people to work there, enough people, and then they're going to cut your hours to part-time. They'll say $18, but then they're going to say, oh, well, we can only give you 20 hours a week or 15 hours a week. They ain't going to give you no 40 hours and $18 an hour. They're either going to give you $15, $16, but they're going to be like, no, our labor's too high. And they're going to cut the schedule to 15, 20 hours a week. They're not going to give you 40 hours. They'll give you under 40 hours, and they'll give you like 25 hours a week, and then try to get enough people to hold up the schedule until something happens, like, okay, we got to do a shutdown, or they close early. So if you didn't have enough people to work, because I went to Starbucks at one of the dang Kroger's, and they were closed. I was like, what? And this was not 7:00 in the evening. This was earlier than that, and they had closed. And I was like, why they close? It was inside the Kroger, and they closed. So either they had nobody to work, or if somebody worked, they probably couldn't work at a certain time. They said, I can't stay. So they had to close. So I think that's what's going to happen to a lot of these places, particularly restaurants. One, they ain't going to have that much food, or the price of food's going to be going up so high. They're going to have limited menu, because they're going to say, no, we don't have this on the menu because we don't have enough whatever. Or they ain't going to have enough staff, so they're going to close early, because if they don't have enough people, or they don't have enough people to work, they're going to close their hours and shorten it. But ain't nobody paying nobody no $18. Now, maybe California, because everything is so expensive, but I assure you, if they pay $15, $16, $17, $18 at fast food places, I could assure you that they changing the hours. They ain't giving you no 40 hours. They'll give you about 25 hours a week or whatever. But that's what's going to usually happen. But anyway, y'all have a good night. I'm ready to go to bed. All right, Colas. I'll look and check your message. Right? Blue True, Vicky, Dorian, and who else be watching? Erica. Um, I guess that's it. Anybody watching? Let me know. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. See you tomorrow night. Good night.